Hello and welcome to this how-to video. Here you will learn how to create reprocessing rules. Reprocessing rules are rules that you have created to post and clear bank statement items that the system could not automatically process. That means, if you notice that there are repeatedly certain items with similar conditions that the system does not manage to process, you can simply create reprocessing rules with the applicable conditions and define a processing action. You can then use your reprocessing rules in the Reprocessing Bank Statement Items app. But how do you create reprocessing rules? Go to the Manage Bank Statement Reprocessing Rules app. Then select the Create button. Fill in the description field. You should enter a descriptive name for the reprocessing rule so that you can recognize and identify it easily. For example, you can type in Rules for Customer Invoices. Then you must select whether the reprocessing rule is applicable for outgoing or incoming payments. In this case, I want the reprocessing rule to be applicable to incoming payments. You can set the Ignore Processor button either to yes or no. If you set it to no, that means that the reprocessing rule is only applicable to open bank statement items that have not been manually edited by you or any of your colleagues. If you set the button to yes, that means that the reprocessing rule is applicable to all open bank statement items, even those that have been manually edited, because you tell the rule to ignore any processing activities on the bank statement items. In this case, the reprocessing rule deletes all manual changes that you or your colleagues have made and basically sets the bank statement items to their original state when they entered the system. In this example, I will choose no, because I do not want this reprocessing rule to process any manually edited bank statement items. In the Journal Entry Type field, you can select the type of journal entry. The system is going to create this type of journal entry when the reprocessing rule posts bank statement items. You can, for example, select Customer Payment. In the Action Type field, you need to select an action type. You can choose between GL posting, APAR posting, and allocation sequence. The GL posting makes a reprocessing rule post the items to a general ledger account. APAR posting makes it post the items to an accounts payable or receivable account. If you select the allocation sequence, the reprocessing rule uses a sequence of different algorithms to analyze the memo lines of the open bank statement items in a certain order. Depending on the algorithms that you determine, the reprocessing rule analyzes the memo lines in different ways. For this example, I select Allocation Sequence. In the Conditions section, you define the conditions that open bank statement items must fulfill so that the reprocessing rule becomes applicable to them. For example, you want the company code to be equal to the value 1010, and the memo line should contain the string Invoices. That means this reprocessing rule will be applicable to open bank statement items that belong to the company code 1010 and have the word Invoices in their memo line. In the last section, you define which actions the reprocessing rule should take if the conditions are met. As defined here above, the action type for this reprocessing rule is Allocation Sequence. That means you can define a sequence of algorithms that analyze the memo line of the open matching bank statement items and post and clear them accordingly. In this case, you can choose the algorithms 25, 10, and 70. But actually, wouldn't it be better if the reprocessing rule had the algorithm 70 work before the algorithm 10? Let's drag and drop it. Now this looks better. Now you have filled in all possible fields. You can check once again if everything is correct, and then you can select the Save button. You have now successfully created a reprocessing rule. Your freshly created rule appears under the My Rules tab. Here it is. Now you can use the rule to reprocess open bank statement items. You can share them with your colleagues so that they can use your reprocessing rules too. Or, depending on whether you have the scope item 4x8, you can also automate rules or create them from templates. And don't forget, you can find more information in our in-app help by simply selecting the question mark button on the top right corner, or in the documentation for SAP S/4HANA Cloud on the SAP Help portal under Bank Statement Processing.